And we're
Oh,
live.
look at that. Straight into it.
Yeah, I was doing the Wayne's World. 5, 4, 3. Why don't you say 2 and 1? You just don't.
You just don't.
Pat, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm hoping tonight's show doesn't have a Scooby-Doo ending. That would be weird.
Welcome everybody to Pro Wrestling Simulated's The 500, where we take the Pro Wrestling Illustrated 500 and put them through an insane tournament of one single elimination match. We have had several rounds in our first bracket round, and we are now up to our 17th episode. A lot has happened in the world of pro wrestling. We asked it to be calm, and luckily it wasn't too wild. It was just great wrestling.
Yeah, it was definitely a, unless you're talking about Microman, everything about this week
Hold yourself.
calmer,
Hold yourself.
much calmer than last week.
I told myself before the show started, how much am I going to limit my rambling and wonderful ravings about Microman, who premiered on MLW Fusion this week? Greatest wrestler of all time. I'm just going to put it out there right now. Microman is the greatest wrestler of all time. Folks, if you haven't watched Major League Wrestling's Fusion latest episode, Vincent St. Laurent, the manager of all managers, he premiered his latest client in a Lucha Libre style trios match to open up the show. Everybody's been wondering, who is St. Laurent going to sign? Who's it going to be? There's so many free agents now. And it was the most unexpected blink and you miss it, quite literally, wrestler in legendary in Lucha Libre, bigger than a mini wrestler, but in name, of course. I speak of Microman. For those of you who don't know who Microman is, let's pull up some stats. Microman. He is... I love this so much. 23-year-old wrestler from where? From Mexico.
Mexico City.
Yeah, Mexico City, Mexico. Primarily wrestles out of the Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, CMLL. He is 3 foot 3 inches high. He weighs 62 pounds. He was trained by Ultimo Guerrero. He debuted in 2017. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss something? The fact that he's 3 foot 3. The man is truly lives up to the mega star. Micromania, folks, is going to run wild. And I thought, okay, this is going to be... I've seen the gifs of the many wrestlers being basically drop kicked into another dimension off of the apron. And I thought that's what was going to happen. No. They truly, and no pun intended, underestimated him. And hey, Storyforge, nice to have you around. That's one of my D&D friends over there.
Oh, nice.
Appreciate it. Great
aboard.
Check them out. Thanks for lurking. I gotta say, no one was expecting Microman. And when can you ever expect Microman?
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Honestly, I have not been able to shut up about Microman since watching Fusion last night. I've just been like, I binged through YouTube of different matches and highlights. But it was a great match overall. And then, Jacob Fatu faced Mads Kruger.
Yeah, for as highly anticipated as that match was,
there's definitely going to be a follow-up.
Yeah.
This was like part 1 of a series of matches for sure. Yeah. And whatever the blowout match is going to be, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Fatu looked great. Mads Kruger looked insane. And of course there was interference from his Contra unit associates.
Right. Which answers the question we had last week of, is there still a Contra unit?
There is, yes. But it's certainly not any favor to the
Fatu.
former so-called
Yeah.
leader, with Jacob Fatu, who's been having these amazing vignettes prior to this match, getting to know his backstory,
Yeah.
like his real life, like what is Jacob Fatu all about. And he is a flesh and blood man like anyone else who has seen some hard times and has put it all out in the ring to make up for some stuff that, maybe he didn't like went down in his life, but he redeemed himself through pro wrestling. And it's such a great human interest story that naturally he is a face for it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy what letting the fans in can do for you.
Yeah, and just enough with what the talent is comfortable letting you tell them.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just genuinely a good thing to happen, and I think that really built up his credibility with the fans to be, real with them. Let's see what else. Terminus 2 happened, and it was a great event. The main event saw Jonathan Gresham defend the original Ring of Honor World Championship, as they're calling it, against Michael Santana, as I learned. The whole story there in that match was that he was trying to get Santana to wrestle a pure match. And
Mhm.
Santana's like, I'm a fighter, man. That's
not how it.
That's not what I do. But eventually they got him into the ring. It was really good to see one-on-one. And Gresham successfully defended his belt. There are rumors that he is on his way to All Elite. If it's just for appearances, that could be something that may be tying into the rumors of this is part of Tony Khan's announcement that it has something to do with Ring of Honor. Speaking of Tony Khan's announcement, that it is this Wednesday. It will be.
Yeah.
What a lineup, by the way. They've got Adam Page and John Silver versus and Alex Reynolds, which is a great trio. Versus
Hangman Page,
Hangman Page,
not Adam Cole.
No, Adam Page he's still Adam. He's the better Adam, according to him. So the trio of Hangman, Johnny Hungy, and Alex Reynolds versus Red Dragon and Adam Cole, who's kind of in a bit of a Sharks Jets division of loyalty. Then there will also be the tag team Casino Battle Royale, which is just... I like when people make innovative matches. I don't like when it's confusing. And the Battle Royal with the tag teams that they did last week was great. It was simple. You got to eliminate both members of a team in order for a full elimination. And the last they had one member of each tag team. It just was booked so well. Kyle O'Reilly did the whole like, oh no, I'm hurt, tricked. And then later in the promo afterwards, I don't know if you heard, but he was like, I blacked out. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And then Buddy Matthews debuted as part of the House of Black to assist the Kings of the Black Throne.
How brutal was that stomp onto the chair?
Good Lord.
That's horrifying.
Penta El Cerro Miedo premiered as Penta Obscura alongside the Spirit of Halloween, Alexander Alhambra.
The Observer from Mystery Science
Theater. I thought 3000. So too. He looked just exactly. He might as well have been carrying a brain out with him. And then, of course, the huge Tony Khan announcement. There's rumors that it could be something with Ring of Honor.
Yep.
A New Japan Super Show.
Yep.
Or a UK show.
Yes.
There's other stuff like, is it a streaming network? Is there some sort of programming deal to get like Dark and Dark Elevation out there more? Because here's the thing. I get the purpose of it, and sometimes it can be a little much in like, oh, they've been winning left and right. Yeah, but against who, and has anyone really been watching? So it's kind of like, padding your wins and losses and that sort of deal.
Yeah, it's like when they were counting Goldberg's wins on house shows
Yeah, that's like, who
toward
saw
his
those?
streak.
No
Yeah,
one saw those.
yeah.
Um,
For all we know, you're just making it up.
yeah. In
I mean, it's all made up. It's a work, but
yeah, of course. Cesaro has decided to leave WWE. Did not continue his contract. Quietly exited, as it was being reported. Basically, a man realizing his worth. So
yeah,
the return of Claudio Castagnoli is imminent, as he has no clause in his contract that says he can't compete. Because he wasn't released, he was just didn't
that's right.
re-sign. Means he can show up anywhere at any time. I'd love to see him in Terminus. I think that would be an amazing defense for Jonathan Gresham.
Yep, and
A
it'd be
belt,
a nice little full circle moment for him, kind of coming
yeah,
back
it's a belt that
to.
he never got really an opportunity to fight
Yeah,
for. Brock Lesnar has been probably the best he has ever been right now in WWE. I watched the highlights of him to see what's been going down with him. He is fully embraced just being like, I don't care what happens. I'm just gonna just gonna murder everybody.
yeah.
Like, to the point where apparently when the whole storyline point of Bobby Lashley not being able to enter the chamber, he went into business for himself and broke the door and started his spot in the match earlier. That wasn't like planned. He broke the door and came into the ring and then
No,
was just like, F5 done, F5 done, F5 done. He climbed that cage like a man with just like Spider-Man, just boom, 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 boom. If the
he
man
climbed it
could
like a
climb,
video game character.
yeah, he could climb Everest like as a hobby if he wanted to. NXT 2.0 still exists. They think that they're going to sell out Dallas when Dallas has barely sold out any tickets for WrestleMania. Was that 100,000 that they can fit there, and they're like
Yep.
discounting tickets left and right.
Well, I mean, with the rumored Vince McMahon return to the ring for a
Well,
match
that's got to
against
be what
Pat
everybody
McAfee,
wants.
that's what's
It
going to
doesn't have
push
anything
everybody.
to do with possibly getting Austin to show up and face Kevin Owens, but
No, of course not.
not at all. And in what else there? What else was there? You heard about this? You seen this?
You seen this? You seen this?
I'm trying to get to. I've been very thankful for Fightful Select. I just signed up with them. Their stories have been very, very good. No crap, just sap. Sean Ross Sapp, you are truly the pioneer of professional wrestling journalism at the moment. A lot of big stuff happened at MLW Super Fight. We will not spoil it. I have not read the spoilers. Certainly, I'm
I
waiting
haven't
for that.
either. No,
I'm waiting for that.
Gonna try to avoid them until they
I
actually
honestly
air.
like Fightful and What Culture have been the only two resources for me, and SES Scoops, because I feel like they're the only ones who've been um good
Yeah.
in terms of like reporting storylines.
Yeah, they've been pretty consistently right for a while.
Now, before we go to our first match, I actually have a little theory for you about Mr. Cody
An Austin
Rhodes.
theory?
No,
Okay.
but Cody Rhodes. There was something I remembered just before he left WWE. He self-produced this vignette where he was basically kind of like doing a Tony Stark gimmick. Had like Rhodes looking in like the Stark logo, and him and Brandy were doing like this, like kind of uh, Pepper Parks and Pepper Parks. That's an actual wrestler. Pepper Potts.
Brandy was being the butcher.
Yes. No, the Blade.
Oh, Blade. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Husband to the bunny.
Yes.
And it was nice. It was cute. It was like this real. I've got like total film noir light coming from my window. By the way, And I'm like, okay. And then I read recently, he's letting his hair blonde dye kind of fade out, and he's grown what he calls a Robert Downey Jr. goatee. So I'm wondering if maybe he was successfully able to pitch like that, the Tony Stark type character vibe for his new persona going into
Interesting.
WWE. And if so, is his entrance now going to be an Iron Man type costume? Because if it's not, I will be sorely disappointed. Are we getting, is Cody Rhodes going to be the new Max Moon?
Oh my god! If they give him the little jetpack thing,
From
that
Stardust to true superhero, he won't be the Iron Man, but he will be something.
I mean, he could go to Japan and win the Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Championship.
Speaking of which, DDT, we're still telling you, if you want us to sanction a match between any of our, we can have the digital version of your current champion face off against Pat, playing as that person, and then who knows?
Yeah,
You're the booking for that is no limits.
well,
So we're telling you right
thing.
now.
Like, no limits is right, because like we're not just limited to the people that I already have, or even real people. Like the editing community for Fire Pro. I mean, like, you want to defend the title against Bugs Bunny? I can get you a Bugs Bunny. You want
Here's the
to
thing: we
defend
can
the title
not,
against the floating head from obscure NES game Zombie Nation? Yep, that's
we
out
can
there.
absolutely do it. You think that you guys have unlimited resources in terms of competition? We can one up that because it's a lot harder to try and pin a video game than you think.
Yes, indeed.
In fact, one of the ways that, I mean, like, I've thought about this, you'd have to come onto our stream. Perhaps you need footage of you pinning the live stream as it's going on,
Yeah,
in order for it to count. Just
Yeah.
saying. But I guess it's time for I think there's been enough talk. I think it's time.
it's time for the first event.
For the first event. I love Mark Henry. I love how much fun he's been having.
Yeah, he's definitely, he's got a new lease on life here.
And it works really well, too. Oh, and we did a little test before the show started. We believe that we have the match sound fixed. We thought we had the match sound.
I can hear it, but it's quiet.
Yeah, but I cannot.
You can't. Okay, well, one moment, please.
So we're going to go before. We really want to make this work.
Why is it not? It was working just fine.
But you will be seeing one half of the former Roppongi 3K show taking on
Jake Lee
of also known as the Total Eclipse from all
Total Eclipse is his unit, his
right
stable.
Also known as part of Total Eclipse, I should say. Excuse me.
Gotcha. Okay, let's go ahead and go
There's
back
a
that.
little peek behind the curtain. Just...
all right,
we'll restart the match. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put some sound on just in case.
I'm just gonna pause it, and we will stand by. It was working.
We would legit, like, if we had it and we listened to it and it was real and it was there.
Capture device.
Can I talk about, though, someone who I feel betrayed the wrestling world recently? Joey Janela, once again, showing off that he is truly the bad boy of pro wrestling. Sean Waltman comes to Game Changer Wrestling, looking to really put like a solid run, like a cap on his career. He announces after the match is done that he is retiring, and we will all miss him, of course. One of the innovators of light heavyweight wrestling, really bringing, inspiring a lot of the quote-unquote small guys.
He's got everything he ever wanted. He'll
It's
never
true.
give that back.
Don't you dare bring up X Factor's theme song. It was a cool idea, but yeah. By the way, I hope Just Incredible. I hope you're doing all right, and then life has turned around for you. I know things have been up and down a lot, but yeah, we know you. Hopefully, you're doing all right. We know that the former Albert is doing all right, and so is his son. If you didn't know, the son of the former Albert of WWE is in NXT 2.0 right now. And that, of course, would be Von Wagner.
Well, I thought Von Wagner was
Wayne
Bloom's
Bloom.
kid.
Von Wagner, Wayne Bloom, Cal Bloom's son, also known as Albert.
No, I thought he was because Albert is Matt Bloom. Wayne Bloom is
Matt Bloom, excuse me.
Bo Beverly.
Oh, right. I apologize.
Or Blake
I'm
Beverly,
thinking
whichever one Mike Enos wasn't.
Bo Beverly, right. God, talking about a tag team that hurt people on purpose. Beverly Brothers.
The Shaker Heights Spike.
The Sugar Heights Spike. Just look for that GIF. It was before the 3D. There was this particular maneuver where one of the Beverlys, I forget which one, but I'm not sure who picked up who and dropped who into the other. But my God, it was like just a straight up like kind of what would be like a flapjack, but no, it was brought up into the air, and then the other one wouldn't just pull a cutter, but just drill the other head first into the mat.
Yeah. It was basically like an unprotected spike pile driver. Like there was no catching them. They just drove them head first in.
And every time it hurt. The Shaker Heights Spike was death. and there's I'm looking at this. It's a match from Superstars. Good God! It's just yeah. Cal Bloom was the one who would drop the opponent into head first. Jesus. So you can see where the 3D was inspired from. My goodness. So yeah, if we don't have any sound, it's okay. We've got music going on in the background.
Yeah, I'll if all else fails, I'll just hop on Google during the halftime break.
We'll figure it out, folks. It's always we're gonna restart this match, right?
Yeah, we can restart it.
Yeah.
We've only lost 41 seconds.
We are multi-platform streaming today because why not? Let's get more eyes on the prize. Yeah. And we thank, of course, Pro Wrestling Illustrated for creating the very list that we have been using for this show. Speaking of show,
there's show.
Part of
the House.
Currently
of
member of the House of Torture. Yes, the spinoff from Bullet Club. Bullet Club is not fine, by the way.
No, they're not doing so hot.
No. Oh God. Recently, the Guerrillas of Destiny were kicked out of the group on No Sacrifice by Switchblade.
Bringing the Good
Jay
Brothers
White
back in.
And bringing the Good Brothers back in because he said he wanted the best tag team to be in Bullet Club, and he recognized the OGs.
Yep.
And it was funny because I was watching the show afterwards that happened over in New Japan. Every commentator was getting, like, from Gato, or rather from Jado and from El Phantasmo, and And I was like, what's happening? What happened? What's going on with it? Bullet Club is not fine, man. They were just as confused. So we know, like I was saying, Show
White's
was
going into
formerly
business
one
for
half.
himself here.
Yeah. Show was formerly one half of Roppongi 3K, which was the team that Rocky Romero brought in to continue the Roppongi franchise, as it were. Having recently reunited with Trent Beretta to become the Roppongi Vice tag team once again. I guess still cementing their spot with Chaos in New Japan.
Yeah. They are officially on, if you go to New Japan's website, they are all now officially listed as members of Chaos.
Does that mean that Danhausen is Chaos adjacent?
I believe it does.
Interesting.
I mean, he's already Chaos personified.
That's true.
Might as well make him
very nice, very chaotic.
Very nice, very chaotic, very evil. Not chaotic evil.
No,
I doubt that that's his alignment. He's 100% chaotic good.
Absolutely. Lawful evil?
Yeah, that's actually probably more accurate.
And what can you tell us about Show's opponent?
Jake Lee, representing All Japan, a member of the Total Eclipse unit. He's just he held the Triple Crown, the top title in All Japan for a period during the evaluation period. He actually held it through the end of the period after winning a three-way against former participants on our show, Kento Miyahara and Yuma Aoyagi. He had a 4 3/4 star match with Miyahara at the Champion Carnival last May. That's definitely worth checking out. He's a Techniker, which I know is your favorite designation
the Cage Match
from Cage Match. He's not a rookie, but he's only been kind of in the main scene since about 2015, 2016. Been on the 500 a few times. Previously peaked at 133 last year. Jumped all the way up to 46 this year after having won the title during the July 2020 to June 21 evaluation period that PWI uses.
Well, that's certainly in a eclectic resume.
Yes. Yeah. All Japan, after having, New Japan eclipsed them, no pun intended, pretty thoroughly about 5 to 10 years ago with the rise of Bullet Club and Nakamura and all of the talent that was going through there at the time. The days of Misawa and Kawada and Kobashi and Taue, were well and firmly in the rearview mirror. But over the last few years, guys like Jake Lee and Kento Miyahara and Yuma Aoyagi are really working on bringing All Japan back into kind of prominence on the global stage. Tajiri has been doing some good work there.
Current middleweight champion of MLW.
That's right. That's helped bring some eyes to the platform.
Great comeback for Tajiri in terms of his career. He kind of disappeared for a while.
Yeah. Which Tajiri is one of those guys, like the fact that the E kind of whiffed on him. Yeah. Just like he had an instant connection with the fans. Like immediately, like from his first appearance as Commissioner Regal's young boy, he was over as Rover with that crowd. And,
absolutely.
The tarantula was a major crowd pleaser move, and he was just so crisp. And every, I don't know, the fact that they never really elevated him beyond, a tag title reign with Eddie. We should have seen the, to quote Jeff Hardy's Lesser theme song, we should have seen the writing on the wall. That was that was it for old Yoshihiro Tajiri.
You should check out Tajiri versus Taz at Heatwave 99.
Oh my god.
Great match.
Yeah.
Versus Sabu at Barely Legal 97.
Any of his matches with Super Crazy or Little Guido.
Yeah. Gosh, what else? Versus Masato Tanaka versus Mike Awesome at Anarchy Rules in 99.
Oh, yeah.
Continuing in on that series of that rivalry. Was just Taz's. Now I'm talking about Taz because I've been on a kind of a run of him lately. Speaking of a great run of matches, Serena Deeb at Terminus was really killing it. And what I liked was that the match there was a couple of matches that went into a 90-second overtime. And her match was one of them. I was also surprised with the use of a 5 count for a count out to decide a victory.
Yeah.
For those who haven't watched it, I won't spoil who. Yeah, it's just this was my first full watch through of a Terminus event, and I was thoroughly impressed. I don't care too much about the venue. The crowd was into it. They kind of kept it simple enough, despite it. Like, it may seem intimidating with the rules and the amount of rules that they use. You might get confused, but I really wasn't like taken out of it by any means. I thought it was really well done with like showing package pile driver.
Package pile driver from Show. Is that going to be enough? 1, 2, 2.9.
Ooh.
That was close.
But yeah, I was really impressed. Was that a Rochambeau?
It looked like it. Yeah, I think that also 2.9.
Now, Show is the betrayer of the former Roppongi 3K. And Yo, yet to have gotten truly a triumphant return victory against his former partner.
Their match at Wrestle Kingdom was very tainted.
Yeah, it's a shame. I part of it is also, I think, because of Dick Togo's overbooking. But that's a whole other story. No, Dick Togo, you were fine when you were around.
Sit-out bomb from Jake Lee.
Oh, these have been very close.
Yeah.
And who is that handsome devil referee?
That is Brian Zane as our referee here tonight.
From Wrestling with Regret?
That's the one. No regrets.
I know it's regret, but every time I see it, I can't, it looks like regrets. He does the best Jim Cornette impression. If you've ever seen, now that's what I call Jim Cornette. He does, this whole parody album.
That's funny.
Getting close to the 20 count on that one.
Yeah.
Ooh, deadly strikes.
Series of knees to the midsection there.
They have been tossing each other around. They've been striking. At one point, I saw him go for a Rings of Saturn finisher on on Show.
PK. 1, 2, only 2.
I saw Davey Richards do the hardest penalty kick on Shane Strickland, Swerve the Realist, at Terminus, and God, just there was no added slap to the leg on it. It was just a straight up punt across the chest, right here, just enough where it could have been he could have chinned him.
That does it.
There's
Jake
the power
Lee
bomb.
The win.
Wow, what a great victory.
Yeah, that's a killer start to our card tonight.
Congratulations. Commiserations to Show.
99%. Not bad for an opener. 2 minutes.
You can't win them all, Show, but you were part of our show.
That's right. Well, it's a big show.
Oh.
It's not the Go Big Show. Well, it's Paul.
Well, it's Paul.
This is a big man named Paul.
I had wondered like what they were gonna do with the song, but they got the guy who did the previous version for him. So, now we have got coming up another New Japan wrestler of the light heavyweight stature, but a NWA wrestler of the heavyweight division for sure. The real Trevor Murdoch versus Bushi of. I'm gonna try and get this right because this one word in their stable always catches me. Los Ingobernables de Japón?
Ingobernables. You had the L and the L switch. Very close.
I can't. It every time. Every time. Trying.
It's the ungovernables.
Yeah,
but they don't have the. It's just.
But you can't help but try. You're gonna think global because of the way that the word is in there.
Yeah, we definitely don't. There's nothing in the English language that sounds the way that Ingobernables sounds in Spanish. So you try to associate it with something familiar.
Maria Deep just tweeted, "I have worked while you have slept, and I will live like you dream." Oh,
damn.
The professor came to play, folks. Here comes Bushi.
Darkness Death Mask from LIJ. Which,
say LIJ.
LIJ, yeah. So,
Pat, put it up.
I was last night. Oh, yeah, sorry.
We're not stable mates.
There we go. I was used to my cam being up here. Like, no, I forgot I have the new one that's closer.
Yeah, you don't look purple anymore.
I know, right? I'm still choppy.
Still just
I think that's because of the lighting in the room. But I'm
the
here.
Outlaw, the former NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, recently lost to the man who rules the internet, apparently.
Yeah.
Mr. Matt
Greatest
Cardona.
heel in independent wrestling.
And national wrestling, televised wrestling. I don't know if you've seen how he has decisively beaten Jordan Grace for the Digital Media Championship. Some may say a lesser version of the Internet Championship. I won't, because I actually like the Digital Media Championship. Yeah. I like Impact Wrestling. And also, I think Effie is the current Internet Champion.
I think that's right, yeah.
But man, Trevor Murdoch, probably one of the best victories I saw for him in that St. Louis show. He had his Harley Race tribute gear on. He had his family in the front row. It was such a great match against Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis gave him everything he got. He gained so much respect afterwards. And now Aldis is cashing in his rematch against Cardona very soon. So that ought to be good. The man who wore the belt for 1,000+ days.
Yeah.
Against the longest reigning internet champion of all time.
Something's got to give.
Exactly. I say title for title.
Well, first, he would need to win the title from...
Well, no, put the Digital Media Championship back up.
Gotcha. Well, but still, Cardona's got both.
So to be fair, I don't think Aldis wants anything to do with Impact anymore.
No.
Well, maybe back then when a certain Panda Energy employee was owning it.
True.
Now a cannabis farmer, I believe.
I believe that's right, yeah.
Dixie.
You know, the wrestling business is a weird one.
Not to say, like, to disparage anybody who's in that line of work, but it's just like...
Oh, no.
That is such a shift.
Yeah, it's an odd adjustment from where she was.
I guess she's trying to control her narrative. And that's the only time I will reference them, because I don't want any part of that.
Nope. That's one more than I would have liked.
Yeah, well, sorry. I just... if it's going to be, it might as well be a joke at their expense.
Fair. That's fair.
Let's talk about Bushi, though.
All right.
God damn it. You know what? I almost thought of that one, too.
So, yep, Bushi, not a ton of singles action over the last couple of years. During the evaluation period, he was 6-7 in singles matches. But where he excels is trios, or six-man matches, as they call them in New Japan.
He was never openweight 6-man tag team champion.
Yep.
He has been an IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion, as well as a Junior Heavyweight Champion on his own. I've watched those title changes, actually, but he has been a record-tying 4-time never openweight 6-man tag, holding the belt 3 times with Evil and Sonata, and once with Evil and Takagi, both of which have nothing to do with LIJ anymore.
No. Evil has jumped over to
I like to see it's the only way you can say it.
I wish I had a mustache I could twirl while I say it. To start
They'll
the house
click
of
their chins and say, "What shall we do with this Simpson fellow?
What shall become of this?" Lamahi Straw there from Bushi.
Reference.
Our first Simpsons reference of the day. Won't be the last.
But it surely won't be the last. That's right.
Being repetitive is our job. Our job. Being repetitive is our job.
Don't go down the rabbit hole, man. We'll never come back. We'll never come back. I have always been a Trevor Murdoch fan. I loved his debut in WWE. I thought him and Lance Cade were a great tag team. He really is just like that old school, Harley Race, Stan Hansen, just big beefy boy build.
Yeah.
He's the guy who, if someone went up to him in a bar and then wrestling's fake, he would have broken your arm in a hold and said, "Did that feel fake?"
Yeah,
of course, if
absolutely.
you do that now, you get arrested, but still, times were different back in the 80s.
Right, yes, yeah. He's very much a throwback to those days. Oop, Firebird Splash from Bushi.
He absolutely would have been booked to the moon in Jim Crockett Promotions.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah,
Plus, he's just a great guy. He is one of the nicest guys. Worked with him in an NWA show years back. He was super over. Everybody was, he was just laughing with the boys backstage. Was so courteous and nice to everybody. He's one of those guys where he's the kind of person, from example, I've learned of shake everybody's hand when you get there. Address them, acknowledge that, and that it doesn't matter just the talent of the bookers, but the crew, the refs, everybody involved. And he said hi to everybody, like even the person just at the ticket booth, like the one kid who was there who just wanted to be part of the show in some way. He was like, "Hey, how you doing?" He was so nice.
That's cool.
He kind of dropped off a little bit, and then only recently came back at NWA, and has been just a fantastic asset to the promotion. So good on you, Trevor Murdoch.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got to keep the name too.
Yes. Yeah, that actually surprised me a little bit. I for whatever reason assumed Vince owned the copyright on that, but
because I thought he was going to be he'd go back to one of his old names, because he used to be known as Jethro Holiday, Roscoe Jackson, and get this, Trevor Rhodes.
Yeah. Well, he does like the references to the stars of the 80s. I mean, Murdoch is very clearly
Dick Murdoch and Dusty Rhodes. Yep. They started as the tag team.
Yep.
And that's actually how it used to be in pro wrestling. Like, when you get your start, you'd start as a tag team guy, and then eventually, once you guys, unless you were making money as a tag team, you'd go your separate ways if there was opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
And that's kind of originally that's what the Dusty Cups gimmick was in NXT, to pair 2 random people, make them a tag team, and then result would be, is this now a permanent thing? And then they just stopped.
Nope. And Bushi pulls off a bit of an upset there with that roll.
Bushi!
Bushi over
with a surprise roll-up.
Murdoch. What do you got for me, Fire Pro? What are we calling this? 88? Yeah, respectable. 14 minutes, 35 seconds with a roll-up. Definitely off to, even with that 88, we're still... That's higher than last week's average was.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, the game did not like last week's show. All right, let me get this next match set up here.
Trevor Murdoch show up in my there it is. Commiserations to the real Trevor Murdoch. I apologize. Sometimes you can't win them all, and you certainly can't expect the unexpected when it comes to a surprise roll-off. One of the most devastating moves in all of professional wrestling, as we've established.
Indeed. The only way it could be made more painful is if the entrance theme of his rival was playing moments before.
We have no distractions.
No.
We don't allow it. We make sure talent stays away from the gorilla position so that they can't are apparently easily influenced. That's the other thing. The production people in pro wrestling are very easily influenced. If someone is telling them, hit my music, I'm going to go run it.
That's true. That's true. They're not so great with the willpower there. They're probably afraid.
I mean, yeah. Also, bad to position the entrance production right by the entrance.
True.
Just let's keep some distance. For the sake of
put them up in a booth somewhere
or a truck.
Yeah, they should 100% be in a truck. That would just make more logical sense.
Up next, Jersey guy.
That's right.
I can do the hand symbol. Jay Lethal versus Ziggy Haim.
Ziggy Haim from Pittsburgh. Another.
We got some East Coast standoff right here.
Yeah.
Jay Lethal, multiple time. I've seen 6-time X Division champion, multiple title champion in a lot of promotions. Ring of Honor Pure Wrestling champion, tag team champion, world champion, television champion. Held both titles at the same time while in Ring of Honor. His last run was with Jonathan Gresham for the tag team championships, but he is going against bloody adorable
Ziggy Haim.
Ziggy Haim.
Yeah.
I love that she calls herself on Twitter David Bim Bowie.
Love that. Pretty accurate. Pretty accurate for Ziggy. Yeah, she's primarily she works for Absolute Intense Wrestling, but
and also this is a fan account for her dogs.
So is David Bim Bowie her dog, or is that?
No, it's just she does not care about Twitter.
Gotcha. Okay. I respect it. I wish I cared less about Twitter.
But Jay Lethal, obviously very influenced by another bunch of like old school, obviously the Macho Man with his Black Machismo. He should. I don't know how much Kevin Nash gets credit for that anymore, by the way, as he was the inventor of the gimmick. His standoff with Ric Flair in Impact Wrestling is one of the most like memeable things.
The woo off.
Some say he has a great cutter with the lethal injection. Jay, I love you, but I tend to disagree. It's a good one. I don't necessarily think it's the best, but it's a good one. For me, it's what it is. It's the springboard thing.
I don't get the springboard.
It's like
the physics of it are weird.
Yeah, it kind of like you can see it coming, right? Isn't that like kind of? But so yeah, a lot of people know with Jay Lethal being in AEW now, he's being part of the mainstream. Possible TNT champion contender. Hopefully, will only carry one belt. I don't know why that bugs me so much. Maybe it's because they're the exact same belt. It's not like they made an interim championship belt and then, it's not like they gave him the unfinished TNT championship to hold in the meantime. It's 2 brand new belts. Like, stop it. Sammy, just carry one belt.
Yep. Makes 0 sense.
It makes 0 sense. But let's talk about Ziggy.
Yeah, let's. Like I mentioned, primarily she works for Absolute Intense Wrestling, which is what it sounds like. But yeah, she bounces all around
absolutely intense.
She bounces all around the indie. Oh, there's a nice cutter from Jay, but didn't have enough to follow up with it because Ziggy's holding her own there. But yeah, she shows up in GCW. She was part of their Fight Forever event last year. Beat Brooke Valentine on that show. She works for Enjoy a lot. She was the I'm not sure if she still is. I don't have that in front of me. The Rise Grand Champion, which she won at MV Young's Poly-Am Cult Party 3.
Nice.
So yeah, she's just bloody adorable is pretty accurate because she's adorable and she doesn't mind getting a little bloody. Prefers when her opponents are bloody, but not afraid of it.
You gotta love, the talent that absolutely understands that violence is the name of the game. You can have fun if you want to.
Yeah.
You can dance if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, you can leave your friends behind.
But if your friends don't dance,
if
they don't dance, they're not
they're
gonna be friends of mine.
No.
We can dance.
SSSSAAAFFFE.
I got some reverb, Matt. Pat, I got some reverb. What's going on?
Dance.
Sorry. Okay, we're gonna get the copyright if we just.
Oh, yep. Sorry, DMCA. I figured if I was off key enough that it would be fine.
DCMA. Hey, wheelbarrow suplex slammed Ziggy right onto her face. Speaking of Ziggy, did you see that The Man Who Fell to Earth is being remade? It's going to be on Stars, I believe.
No.
It looks awesome.
Interesting.
They're turning it into a full series.
All right.
For those who don't make the connection, David Bowie was in The Man Who Fell to Earth movie. David Bowie at one point known as Ziggy Stardust. Ziggy Haim right here is where her name was inspired from.
Yes.
Which is why she calls herself David Bin Bowie.
Yes.
I love the smile with the pin. Like, that's just like, ha-ha! I got
Bloody
you.
adorable. I've done it. Huzzah!
I was talking to my wife yesterday about the customization of this game and why we used Fire Pro Wrestling World in general. First of all, great community to everyone who has uploaded imagery to help us, especially to help Pat with new customizations for new roster members that we have. To even the wrestlers who have made themselves in the game. Like, that we appreciate too. Jay, you better get in. I think he might still be feeling the effects of Terminus and thinks he has to get in before a 5 count. I love that, by the way. Because it's like, then you can't have any nonsense outside of the ring. It's just like, no, get in there. There is no reason for you to be outside of the ring. Not in this house.
Not in this.
It's very Fight Club oriented, the way I see it. Like, it's just like this underground sport vibe to it. I like that.
Acid drop from Ziggy.
I was gonna say, was that either that was definitely like the acid drop or a slice of ed variation, but a roll up.
Yeah, she didn't do the full on backflip. It was so that's why it's a acid drop instead of a sliced bread or a I can't remember what the Japanese name for it is.
Oh God, don't even try to get it on me.
Shiranuai?
Sure.
Is that it?
But for what the game, I won't say lacks in graphics because it's still a pretty good looking game. Yeah. It allows itself to have that many more moves and that many more customization options to, like I said, a virtually unlimited amount of possibilities. Wow!
It's Rana from Ziggy. Yeah, because the graphics are like, this would be an like cutting edge game graphics wise on like PS2.
Yes, absolutely. And it was.
Yeah, Fire Pro Returns is a very good game as well. But because they didn't go photorealistic, there's literally room for 1,500 wrestlers.
It's got like a more arcade vibe to it.
Yeah. Exactly. And
rather than simulator.
And they actually just released a new patch for it yesterday.
Ooh.
To keep the online, because I guess like something about their online was about to expire.
Sorry, Jay Lethal just missed a gigantic moonsault.
Yeah.
And then went into a bow and arrow lock. I don't know how he was able to recover from that. But ouch.
Flatliner.
Does it hurt? No, but ouch though.
1, 2, 2.9. This is even more painful than it looks. Ziggy with the forearms and a back elbow from Lethal on a drop kick.
I just saw New Japan of America just released
that cutter.
Jay Lethal is going to face Ren Narita in Tampa.
Oh, that should be fun.
Ren Narita is currently doing his American excursion. Please catch up on New Japan Strong. After recently facing off against the returning Shibata, who legit said, this is no longer an exhibition,
yes.
This is a wrestling match, and just went into business for himself on the microphone to the point where even the commentators were like, is this happening? Okay.
Ooh, pump handle power bomb from Lethal. Hey, watch that hand, mister.
Oh, and that works.
I did it. Jay Lethal is your winner. I was about to make a comment that Jay looked a little gasped there.
Yeah, I've noticed that with a lot of the talent. They've been really working themselves hard.
They're coming out strong early.
Pump handle power bomb against Ziggy Aim.
47.
We move on into a 91%. That's not bad.
Not bad at all. Yeah, our average for the show so far is 93, which would make it our highest rated show since episode 14. So,
but it's all about what our fans think of.
That's right.
In terms of the show, and the way that you can let us know. I don't even know why I haven't had this up.
No.
It just kind of dawned on me that I forgot this part. At PW Simulated on all the social medias with the hashtag the 500, and tag your favorite wrestler as well. Let us know what you think of the show. Join us in the chat. If you're one of the people who is competing today, join us. Why don't you? It's become a trend. This is a place for you to show us that you virtually have what it takes to be in our ring. And then this way we know who to book for Pro Wrestling Simulated IRL event.
That's right. Which we will do someday.
We joke, but I'm legit about that.
Oh yeah.
I would love nothing more than to be able to make that.
My high school dream was to be a wrestling promoter and announcer. So if we could pull this off, I am all about it.
But here we go. One of the scariest people in professional wrestling is going to go up against Frontman Ja.
Frontman Ja, Jasi.
And when I say scariest, I say he scares me, because at his wedding, in order to make sure no one said no if they objected, he pulled out a deadly weapon.
Yes, he was
one that legitimately could murder people. Of course, I'm talking about Dexter Lumis,
the former Sam Shaw, whose finisher for many years was called.
Yeah.
Now I think they've changed it to the Silence or something like that.
If it's not called the Silencer, then what are they doing?
I mean, that's a question that you really should be asking at all times when it comes to WWE.
When it comes to NXT 2.0.
What are they doing?
What are they doing?
What is that? What are you doing?
What would you say you do here? Now, those are supposed to be sleeve tattoos, but they just look like sleeves, to be honest.
They do kind of look like sleeves, yeah. It's a little on the dark side.
Which is all the more scarier, to be fair. But yes, for those who don't know, haven't been watching NXT 2.0, I don't blame you. Dexter Lumis, basically his whole gimmick is he's a serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not joking when I say that either. It's like they've kind of made it very clear. This man murders people.
Yeah.
It's like someone watched the True Crime documentary, or the fact that he has the ability to just blankly stare, and not like show any emotion. That either Shawn Michaels or Bruce Pritchard said, "You're a killer."
Yeah.
Ah, thanks, man. No, I mean it. Your gimmick is that you're a killer.
I'm afraid of you. I think you might kill me.
I believe that you have bodies buried somewhere.
Well, and his character in Impact was that he was a stalker because he was stalking Christy Hemme.
Yes, and a stalker is at least, like, I don't want to say legal, but it's creepy enough where it's like, well, you can't have someone who is a murderer in your wrestling ring.
Well, yeah, and I think that was the next step when he got to NXT, was they saw like, oh, he can do the creepy thing well, and then like they saw like, oh, and he can do the 100-yard stare with no emotion. And hey, Dexter is a TV show that was popular 10 years ago. That's right in Vince's wheelhouse.
That always happens.
Let's name him
That
Dexter.
always happens. Like, hey, what did Vince just watch recently? Well, that's your thing.
Yep. Poor pirate Paul Burchill. It's just happened to see Pirates of the Caribbean. And you're an Englishman. You're a pirate now. I don't remember what podcast.
Do you remember
I was
his
listening to,
catchphrase, by the way?
Burchill's?
Yeah.
No.
It was just, hello.
Okay. All right.
That was it. Just
All right.
came up to you, and in his worst Johnny Depp, he said, hello. His entrance was pretty cool, though, swinging from
swinging on the rope,
coming through the curtain, and then swinging through. That was pretty dope. The rest of the gimmick was, what the hell?
Had some issues.
We are almost at the halfway point of our show as well.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
And,
one more after this one.
Who is representing New Japan as our referee?
Oh, that is one of the new guys. That is it Justin Gordon. It's Kenta Sato.
Hello, Kenta Sato. Nice of you to be here, calling the match right down the middle.
You know what? I need to get a Bill Alfonso so he can call it right down the middle, Daddy.
As long as he doesn't bring the whistle.
Oh God!
Just that's gonna kill our feed so much.
Really hoping. Well, I mean, then we'd be glad that we're not getting any audio.
Yeah. Just blow out the microphone with that whistle.
Oh, Bill Alfonso.
I wonder how many teeth he still has. Did you see the Hardy Boys recently put a promo out against the Briscoes?
I saw that it exists. I haven't watched it yet.
When they're together, their Carolina accents come out more pronounced. It's like when, well, the Briscoes are always Delaware with it when their voice comes out together, but like, you separate the Hardys, they're all, is that going to be it? He's putting them to sleep.
Front man gets out.
Jassi was able to be loud.
The inaugural champion of Black Wrestlers Matter, Jassi, the front man, escapes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that available on?
I believe it's on IWTV. Some of it, I watched one of his defenses on YouTube, but I can't remember. I think it's on IWTV. I will look that up.
Loomis just hit a Luthez press on him, like just as an actual like move. It wasn't just a setup. That was cool. I've never seen that. I like when some moves kind of be used for their original purpose. Actually get used effectively. Nice flying clothesline, or leaping clothesline rather. And into an unprettier. Could this be it? He's right in the center of the ring.
Ooh, 2.9.
Oh,
yes.
Get outside.
The
Super
inaugural Black Wrestlers Matter show is on IWTV.
Very cool. Check that out. We're big fans of independent wrestling TV. Great website. So much content.
So much. To the point where I wish it was a little easier to navigate sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to find stuff, but it's almost all there.
Oh yeah, and a lot of shows are co-promotion shows as well.
Yes.
So if you're not going to have to like watch every single promotion, even though obviously supporting them is great. But a lot of talent tends to, because it's independent wrestling and it's the true journeyman type of style, you will see a lot of wrestlers, different promotions, but you also get a little taste of them trying to do different things. Like they're not a great wrestler doesn't just do the same, unless that's what you're paying for. They will make sure to go with what the promotion is all about.
Yep.
He hit that on Prettier right in the center of the ring again, and it worked.
Pulls off the upset. Josh C, the 371 seed, beats Dexter Loomis.
Is there a specific name for that? I don't want to give a Christian's name
I'm honestly not sure. Let's see what the game calls it. Reverse drop face buster. So whoever created
the kill switch,
we'll call it a kill switch. Yeah, so whoever uploaded this didn't include whatever Josh C calls it.
That's
and
all right.
unfortunately, I'm blanking. It does have a name, but we'll call it.
Well, it's already been tweeted.
It's out there.
Out there. It's gone. It's the truth. But now we have one of the most talked about second generation wrestlers I don't necessarily know about for the right reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny going back to one of the many topics.
It's against Yasufumi Nakanua.
I think it's Nakanoe, but I'm not confident that I admittedly do not watch a lot of Big
This
Japan.
one is tough for me.
Yeah.
But we got a Big Japan versus a big WWE push superstar.
Do you think
one day will betray his father?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think that's coming at Mania?
In time for Mania? No.
Do you think it's gonna happen at Mania? Because that's kind of what
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Really?
At this point, I don't think it's gonna happen. I've joked about it, but I honestly, at this point, I don't think they're gonna do it.
You've just given up on it.
Yeah. Much like WWE.
I mean, I have not watched a minute. I've seen a little bit on YouTube, but I have not watched a minute since the Rumble. I just can't anymore.
It's tough.
It's just so hard to watch, and there's so much good stuff out there that I just can't spend the time watching a show I don't like.
I watch the recaps of stuff like, Brock or Braun Breaker, because he's the only one that NXT actually cares about.
Yeah.
Really, honestly, it's just the main title pictures and Sami Zayn, because I love Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
3-time Intercontinental Champion. I didn't even remember it happening, but it happened.
Apparently. I mean, honestly, they could tell me he's a 10-time champion, and I'd believe him. I don't know.
The only person close to 10 times is Jericho, right?
Jericho.
Not Miz.
I believe, I think Jericho's had 9 reigns.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head. I'm not sure where Miz is. Miz is probably around like 6 or 7.
Miz exists.
Yeah, Miz is going to be in the celebrity match again this year. Because
it's a perfect role for him. I mean, it really is.
Because he's, and we've talked about this in previous episodes, that part of the appeal, at least for WWE management for Miz, is that he's safe.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to worry about Miz hurting somebody in the ring. Same with Sami Zayn, why they're putting him with Knoxville.
And personality.
They've
got personality to spare.
Yep. They can hold their own in the talking segments that are going to show up on Entertainment Tonight, but then also when you get them in the ring, you don't have to worry about them giving them a concussion.
Shows how old we are. That it's still Is Entertainment Tonight still a thing? I don't even know.
Genuinely don't know.
I feel like it's
that
TMZ.
I might have
I feel
just
like it's
dated
TMZ.
myself.
I don't even know if TMZ is still a thing anymore. Like,
Yeah, well, I may have
Extra?
just super dated myself.
is Extra a thing?
I genuinely don't know where people get entertainment news anymore, other than Twitter. But somebody's got
I
to
guess, yeah.
Somebody's got to come up with the news. All right, I'm looking it up. Does Entertainment Tonight still exist?
Yes, Yasufumi, the Yoko Shop six-person champion.
Yeah, it's the Yokohama Shopping District six-man champion.
I love Japanese wrestling championship titles names. And here comes Booyaka Booyaka 619. Look out, it's Rey Mysterio's son. No. Now, okay. Do you feel like that graphic of him in the half mask? Does it feel okay if he were to wear the traditional Mysterio mask?
I wouldn't want him to just do it to do it. It would need to be something where, like, we've talked about the luchador and mascarado,
right.
Tradition.
But it's WWE, so they have none of it.
That's the thing that would dissuade me from it. Is I don't think it would work well if it was just like he came out one week wearing the Rey mask, which is almost certainly what would happen in WWE.
I mean, I can understand Rey giving his son his own custom mask.
Yeah.
And calling him I don't think he'd be Dominic Mysterio anymore. Maybe he could be
El Hijo de Rey Mysterio.
Well,
that's what he would be in Mexico, but
yeah, but again, I'm going off of
this is what WWE
Vince's rules.
Yeah.
Maybe even Prince Mysterio?
Yeah, maybe. That seems like a word I should know in Spanish, but
it's Principe. It's
Principe,
not that much.
That's right.
Which doesn't really sound all that cool.
No. And if they called him Prince Mysterio, within 2 years, Vince would have him wearing purple and being Prince, because he can't do it anymore with.
Well, they already tried. Yeah, I was gonna say they already tried that with Velveteen Dream. And again, probably would be on WWE television if it turned out that he wasn't allegedly a creep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's no one's fault but their own when they do stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah, the easiest way to not get fired for being a creep is to not be a creep.
Not be a creep. Yeah.
That's I've been around.
That's universal. That's just
yeah. I'm closing in on 4 decades, and weirdly, I've never assaulted anybody.
No.
Yeah, it's
you're not a creep.
It's actually way easier to not than it is.
It's incredibly easy to not do something bad than it is to willingly do something bad.
You have to really try to be a creep. It doesn't come naturally.
And we're talking about in the sense where legally it's dangerous for anyone involved.
Yes.
People be low-level creeps in terms of I'm not too thrilled about your bug collection. That's a little creepy to me.
Right.
But, that's work.
We worked with a guy at Disney who raised squirrels. That was a weird dude. He's a little creepy, but not
nice person.
Yeah, perfectly.
Never did anything harmful to anybody, as far as I know.
Nope. Although I do wonder what his life is like now in a.
I want to know what his intentions were with the raising of the squirrels. Was there an uprising planned? Could we have seen some sort of, squirrel insurrection on the parks?
Like a Planet of the Apes situation with hyper-intelligent squirrels.
If they want to do it against Bob Chopra now, by all means, I don't care.
Yep. If they want to take over the Galactic Star Cruiser.
Okay, you and I have to talk about that after the show, because I've seen varying opinions. And some stuff looks cool. I'm not gonna lie. Some stuff looks really nice. But not nearly at the level that they promised.
And also, how do you open a hotel in Central Florida charge people $6,000 for 2 nights and not have a swimming pool.
Yeah.
There's no pool.
There is, though, an an environment simulator, which I think is really funny because basically it's just an outside room.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's clever. Okay.
It's fun. It's a nice, but like, how do you not have a pool?
And I think that's what people are thinking. Like, they're expecting the amenities of a hotel.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting off track.
Yeah.
So we know about Dominic Mysterio. He's Rey Mysterio's son, and that's honestly all he's got, other than being a tag team champion with his father.
Right, yeah, exactly. Because he's Rey Mysterio's son.
Yeah. So let's at least the time we have before maybe a possible surprise victory may happen. Let's talk about Yasufumi.
Yeah, let's do it. He was trained by Animal Hamaguchi and Satoshi Kojima, so he's got that big time pedigree.
Kojima.
He was part of the, I'm gonna butcher this, I apologize, the Ikitosen Strong Climb tournament, which was ongoing until COVID-19 happened, and any momentum anybody had was stopped. He's I think he may have lost it since, but he won the Big Japan World Strong Heavyweight Championship. Big Japan is another one of those promotions that has, like, they have a strong division, they have a hardcore division, they have so he was the strong division champion for quite a while, and then he teamed with Okabayashi, Yuji Okabayashi, and Chicharito Shoki to win the Yokohama Shopping Street 6-man tag team titles, which they still hold.
Now I want to go to their shopping district just to see if it's worthy of a tag team championship.
Yeah. He likes to use his elbows as weapons. 2 of his trademark moves. He has a running elbow and then a diving elbow. Big frog splash from Dom from his shades of his alleged poppy, and that does it. Dom picks up the win. Entertainment Tonight does still exist, by the way.
Well, there you go. No one saw that coming.
Nope. No. Fumi Nakanoe goes down. On the plus side, that means we don't have to try to pronounce Yasufumi Nakanoe going forward. Only a 74% evaluation, though, from the game.
But that is our first half, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we've got Jordan Grace versus Isaiah Cassidy. We've got Ethan Allen versus... I'm trying to guess who this is.
Ethan Allen is against Koji Iwamoto.
We've got Mace from Retribution versus
Keisuke Okuda.
Matt Hardy versus Ray Horace. And then our main event, Chris Jericho, the influencer, the demo god, La Champion, against the former anonymous general manager of Raw, Swoggle. And that's all coming up in our second half. It's going to be an exciting show. We hope that you'll come back, check it out. But we will be back in 5. We will see you then. Feel the groovy vibes, brother.
Right.
I love that music.
There we go.
So, how do we do? Did we think we corrected?
Think so.
We'll
but it's
try.
also back to being very loud in my headset. I'm just running a test here.
Hey! There we go.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So we're getting there. It's very loud in my headset, so I need to make a couple more adjustments, but at least we know.
He said it's very loud in his headset. By my channel, the great Garrett Morris.
Okay. I'm going to turn monitor off. See if that helps. That's still very loud.
Yes, but the sound, more importantly, is still coming through.
Yes. Okay. So we've at least got audio.
Yes.
That's more than we had before.
All right, so we're just going to set up this next match, which is going to be Jordan Grace versus Isaiah Cassidy. The inaugural digital media champion of Impact Wrestling in Jordan Grace versus Isaiah Cassidy, one half of excuse me,
Private Party and
a party that you and I are certainly never going to get into.
We did not get an invitation.
We did not get an invitation. I don't ever know if we are, guys. I'm still waiting for one. You know, I know you got the whole thing going on with Andrade and with Matt Hardy kind of losing his mind. Some say he might be going to extremes.
Maybe. Yeah. He's exhibiting some erratic behavior lately.
Yeah. But oh god, I almost wrote something that I need to delete. So we'll make sure that doesn't
get it out of here.
Yeah, just I'll just push it out.
And hey, at least the audio is no longer broken.
Yeah, there we go. All right. I think we got all our puns out of the way. And of course, we didn't use them when Matt is actually going to wrestle on the show.
That's right. Yeah, we little too early there.
Shot that load a little too early.
What an unfortunate twist of fate.
Oh, you son of a gun. Okay. All right. Well, let us from our epicenter here give you a little heads up on what is going on in the future of Pro Wrestling Simulated. We are continuing to let this ball roll. The ball is rolling up as far as I'm concerned. Not in a Sisyphus sort of way where it's just going to come crashing back down on us and then we have to roll it up again. Yeah. We're just gonna keep going up that hill. And like I said, if one of your favorite wrestlers is on our show, we'd like to put the entire card out before we go live. We make sure that we keep you up to date on our Twitter stream, which is available, of course, at PW Simulated. Give it a follow there. And we like to make sure that if you see a wrestler that you are happy to see compete here, because you're not going to see these matches anywhere else so far. They could happen, but we're the first, at least in the digital realm, to do this, and providing rematches for matches that have had historic back and forths.
Yes, indeed.
And we are going to continue our unprecedented matches with Jordan Grace versus Isaiah Cassidy right now as we go to the ring. Yes!
Cassidy, we have audio?
Yes, we do. Excellent. Very loud, though.
It is loud. But at least we have it. Let me turn that down a little bit.
There we go.
I was cranking it to make sure that it was actually happening.
I can hear you. I can hear the matches. We are good to go.
Yeah. Professional show business. The game is still a little loud in my headset because it's local. So
might need to change your monitors.
He's in there against Thick Mama Pump, Jordan Grace. And that Natalie attired referee is Takayuki Yagi from Dragon Gate.
Love that gear. Always have. Isaiah Cassidy also tends to scream the loudest.
Yes.
In matches.
Never more so than when Keith Lee was destroying him on Dynamite last week. Yeah! The first victim of the Uncle Phil.
The eloquently spoken Keith Lee.
Yes. He is limitless.
Including in his robust vocabulary. I love that about him. His eloquence in his promo delivery.
Yes. The perspicacious pummeler. Well, this need to find a maybe need to find a different Jordan Grace edit. This is
she's very powerful.
Yeah. If she wins, I'm gonna try and find a different one.
I think that's just because Jordan Grace kicks ass.
Well, she does, yeah. I was more so like I don't feel like the face is right. And the
I thought you meant she was OP.
Weird. What?
I thought you meant she was overpowered.
Oh yeah. All right. What do you got for me, Fire Pro?
So while you're trying to make sure that you don't go deaf, I'm going to cover what's going on in the ring right now, so you can help yourself out with your monitors. So Isaiah Cassidy, of course, one half of Private Party, 1/15 of the Hardy family office, as it were. Which Andrade is currently trying to get in on. And apparently by Darby Allin. I don't know if he understands that you can't legally do that.
Yeah, we outlawed that in this country a while ago.
Long time ago. But yes, Jordan Grace, currently signed to Impact, the inaugural Impact Digital Media Champion, former Knockouts Champion, former Knockouts Tag Team Champion. She is the first Impact Wrestling Knockouts Triple Crown winner, as the Digital Media Championship is both for... It's an intergender title of sorts. There are no limits as to whom can hold that championship. Not nearly as extreme as DDT's heavy metalweight championship.
But what is?
But what is? Why am I
think
hearing
I'm
myself?
back, by the way. I think I fixed the...
Well, now I'm hearing myself.
Oh. Well,
regardless, as long as you're not going deaf.
I'm not, but I'm only hearing you once, so I'm thinking that's all that's coming across on the stream.
Yeah, that's no problem.
That's no problem. So that's
she's also currently married to the Ring of Honor original world champion Jonathan Gresham. And I like seeing pro wrestling couples, and that's throwing me off. I like seeing pro wrestling couples because I know that they met through a business they love. Sometimes it doesn't always work out. I have a feeling, though, lately with modern sensibilities and understandings of how the business works, they kind of go into it knowing, okay, I'm not going to see you all the time, but when I do, we make the most of it. What the hell was that?
That was a Code Red, I think.
That was insane.
Very impressive.
First time I saw the gin and juice, by the way, I had never seen a move like that where launched off with a Hurricane Rana and then turned into a cutter.
Yeah.
The first time I saw that was them against the Bucks in the championship tournament. Alabama Slam! But not inverted and not landing on their head.
Yes, the way it's supposed to be.
But there's the Made in Japan.
2.9. We'll call that the Made in Austin. Austin, Texas native Jordan Grace, standing shooting star from Cassidy. Did not scream while doing it, so it did not have its maximum impact.
Right. There's something about the Cassidy scream. I want to say, like, I would give it like a patent name, like the Cassidy holler.
the
like
Cassidy
the
cacophony.
something like the Wilhelm scream, but like with Cassidy.
Yeah.
sarcastic cacophony.
Oh, Yokute Obure, man.
Stole
pulling out the Asai DDT.
Made famous by Ultimo Dragon.
Just a forearm to the face from Isaiah Cassidy.
Listen, Jordan Grace is a tough competitor. It's going to be a lot to take her down.
Yeah, absolutely.
It took a steel chair for Matt Cardona to beat Jordan Grace. Not necessarily something people were happy about. Just straight up.
But when was the last time Matt Cardona cared about making people happy?
Apparently never.
Look at me. I'm making people happy. I live in a gumdrop house on Lollipop Lane.
In case you're wondering,
I was being sarcastic. Well, duh. Alabama Slam from Jordan Grace. See, I definitely
there you go.
That face is not great. No offense to whoever edited that, but I'm sure I can find a better, more accurate representation of thick mama pumps than that.
Jordan Grace in real life is gorgeous.
Yeah,
and that does not do her justice.
No. It looked like they spent a lot of time on making sure she was properly ripped and not enough on
which is also great.
Yeah, her. I mean, I love watching because she's very active on social media. Her workout videos are insane.
I can't compete with those ever.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
I'd love to. I'm trying to get back into shape, but it's not like I'm going to be doing the one-man punch style of 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 crunches every day.
How great an idea is that for a show, though, by the way?
Oh, it's amazing. Like, how'd you get your superpowers? I worked out.
Yeah. And the fact that the entire buildup is, he beats everyone with one punch, and so he's just, in a permanent existential crisis of...
It's all right.
I guess, hey, there's a challenge. Let me step up and... Oh, I beat him with one punch again.
Yeah. It's kind of like it's what Bob Holly wanted to do when he pitched himself winning the championship. What if I win the belt and just beat everybody? What? Yeah. Let's just beat everybody.
I don't think you get how this works, Bobo.
Everybody? Everybody. Cut to Gary Oldman. Everyone? Everyone!
All right. We got a Battle of the Independents up next. Neither one associated with the promotion full-time.
Koji Iwamoto versus Ethan Allen.
Yes. Not the furniture store, the English wrestler.
No, the British wrestler of the Young Guns.
Yes. So, Koji Iwamoto worked primarily for All Japan. I don't think he's still under contract with them, which is why I have this listed as an all-independent match. But yeah, I teamed with... he won the World Junior Heavyweight Tag Championship with... He beat Susumu Yokosuka to win the World Junior Heavyweight title. Then he won it back, then lost it to Francesco Akira at the maybe my favorite name for a show last year, Champions Night from the Land of the Triple Crown Unification Flight to the 50th anniversary.
One more time?
I could try. Champions Night from the Land of the Triple Crown Unification Flight to the 50th anniversary.
All right.
When he lost the title to Francesco Akira. And he is no longer under contract to All Japan. He is listed in their notable alumni on their Wikipedia page. And then he's in there with Ethan Allen, who,
from what I've seen, all business. Just all business.
Yep. He, you mentioned his tag team, the Young Guns, with Luke Jacobs. They made it to the finals of the tournament to crown the new Progress Tag Team Championship. losing to a guy we saw last week, Kid Lycos, and Kid Lycos 2 from the Lycos gym.
Oh, by the way, frontman Ja C just said, "I'd make Dexter wish he never came back." He just gave us some love there. Hey man,
That's awesome.
You did what you did, and
Yeah. That unprettier kill switch reverse drop face buster that you planted him with. Appropriate
like
to use the kill shot on Dexter.
I kind of like that we're having like these metaverse rivalries going on.
Yes. A match that will probably never happen in real life, but it happened here.
You never know. It happened here, and that's where it counts.
That's right. That's the important thing. So Alan has been pulling out some really unique submission holds here.
He does seem like he is definitely using the British catch as catch can submission specialist, British strong style, as it were.
Yes, very much in the vein of a Johnny Saint, or more contemporarily like a Pete Dunne or a Tyler Bate style of just twisting you into knots.
Did you know that NXT UK still exists? Apparently,
I did. I couldn't tell you anything that's going on there.
Could not tell you a damn thing.
I know Ilya Dragunov is still their champion.
I feel like he's the only one other than Gunther, who never had another name. Should be in NXT 2.0.
Yeah. Yeah.
That UK championship, though, it's so beautiful.
It's a good looking belt.
And oh god, it was no wonder that they made it just an NXT belt, because to be the WWE United Kingdom Championship and look that good, it was like, no, it can't look better than our main belts.
No.
But that's exactly what the main belts should look like.
Yeah, as opposed to like
one big W.
As a W, and then it's color coded.
And this one is blue because it's on SmackDown.
Yeah. So what do you think that unified title is going to look like? Is it going to be exactly the same, just black?
If that's what they're going to do, then yes. Because apparently, look, I feel like they're just going to call it the WWE Universal Championship, and it will World Heavyweight will drop because Vince doesn't like
any association with sport.
Any association with sport, exactly. And Universal is marketable. It is something that you can sell as a toy.
Yep.
If they do make a new belt design, I would like to at least see them put some sort of like
effort,
graphing or etching behind the giant logo. UFC at least does that. But the brand split apparently is going to go away, and then in a few years it'll come back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but they don't have enough talent to justify a brand split, especially because they fired everyone.
I'm just going to say, they do. They totally do. They just refuse to use people.
Yeah.
That's the reason they went to the brand split in the first place, was because they were using the same people over and over on Raw and SmackDown, and they had so many people.
And then they still did it.
And then they still did it. It's just really, really a baffling company.
Will I still watch Mania? Yes, but I don't think I'm going to watch it live. I think I'm going to wait until the next day and just skip to the matches I want to see. Unless I hear like, oh, this was a can't miss match.
But looking at the card in its current form, there's nothing like that yet.
And then compare that right now to Revolution.
Oh my God, Revolution! I was having this conversation on Twitter with somebody last night that, and we've talked about this on the show. Like, I went from Nashville to Chicago for a week for Dynamite and Rampage and All Out back in September, because I thought that was going to be a once-in-a-lifetime show. And it was, to a degree. I got to see Punk's return to the ring. I got to see the debuts of Ruby Soho.
The debut after the
Adam
debut
Cole,
after
Bryan
the
Danielson.
debut.
Yeah. Great show. Arguably, Full Gear might have been a better show than All Out.
Oh, yeah.
And now Revolution might be a better show than Full Gear. Like, it's just, on paper,
just look at it. Jade Cargill versus Tay Conti. The 6-person tag I could honestly do without. The Tornado Tag Team match. Whatever.
I think it'll be good. I just don't really care about it.
Jurassic Express versus Red Dragon versus more than likely the Young Bucks, but could also be FTR. I'd like to see that as a switch. Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. Jericho versus Kingston. Keith Lee versus Wardlow versus Hobbs versus Starks versus Cassidy versus, to be determined, Pac or Buddy Matthews. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Thunder Rosa. CM Punk versus MJF in a dog collar match. And then Hangman Adam Page defending his championship against Adam Cole, baby. What a show.
Yeah, that's insane.
Anything can happen, too.
Yeah.
There's no one to call this, like, what could it be?
But and then you add on top of it, something huge is going to happen on Wednesday. Like, we don't know what the announcement is, but what is that going to mean? Is it going to affect anything for Revolution? Is this if it is a
Trios championship? It'll be bigger than that.
It'll be bigger than that. I think it's either going to be that they've bought Ring of Honor's tape library, or Ring of Honor in general, or that, and with the goal being eventually a streaming service of their own, or the announcement of a super card with New Japan and maybe also Ring of Honor and Impact,
or maybe like imagine a super card of like that, but in the UK.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there's the submission victory.
Ethan Allen gets the submission victory. I don't really know what to call that.
I used the submission victory because that was an interesting stretch.
What is the game calling it? The EA stretch. Oh, it's it's named after him. So that makes sense. So we've never seen anything like
it's in the game.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Oh, EA.
What happened to them?
Microtransactions.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That's what happened.
Guys, don't... by the way, as a dungeon master, I have figured out how to do microtransactions for my players that I will never do. But I have figured it out. And it's more of a morality thing at this point. It's an ethics. Should I?
It's about ethics in game.
No, don't you dare!
Yeah, I couldn't figure out a way to make it. Yeah, to make it work.
No, we don't do that here.
I just bailed on the gag.
But we are coming close now towards our main event. But we have match number 8. We've got Mace from Retribution against Kazuki Okuda. I think I got that one.
I think so, yeah. Member of the high-end
I told you, this stream is teaching me Japanese. Now, I remember Mace when he was just a simple commentator who prospectively had a feud against Brock Lesnar that could have happened, and that got dropped. And then he joined Retribution and had a mask and kept teaming with T-Bar. Is that... I don't even know. Are they still a tag team?
I don't believe so, because I think T-Bar stayed on Raw when Mace went to SmackDown.
Oh.
I'm not positive. Let me look that up, though. Because, in all honesty... who cares? But
Dio Madden. I mean, first of all, Dio Madden is a cool name. Like, if you just had, like... Okay, so if Dio Madden and Dominic Dijakovic had, like, reverted back to their real names, Dio and Donovan, like, could have called them D&D.
Yeah.
Lord knows
So
they
a
look
little
like
bit of a
monsters
size
anyway.
disparity. A little bit of a size disparity here. Mace, the former NFL player, 6'7", 217 pounds, from the savage lands of Shaolin, is in there against Keisuke Okuda, who is 5'8", a full 11 inches shorter.
The savage
And
lands of Shaolin, also known as Northeastern Massachusetts.
Yes, yes. And Okuda weighs 168 pounds. So Mace has him by 149 pounds from Sumie, Japan. That's, of course, Okuda. He was the Brave Gate champion for a significant portion of the evaluation period, having beaten Kaito Ishida for it. As you can guess from the getup, he is primarily a martial arts based wrestler. He does have some technical qualities as well, but he's primarily just going to try and beat you up or get you to tap out.
I like that he puts a $sign in his name, Mr. Danger Zone.
Yes. And Mace is just going to beat the hell out of you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Interesting enough, during his year, the evaluation period, which again, July 1st, 2020 to June 30th, 2021 to qualify for the 2021 PWI 500, Mace undefeated in singles action.
Not bad.
He only had 2 matches, but he didn't lose that. But he mostly was in tag matches and trios and, a couple of battle royals and stuff. But yeah, he beat Ricochet, because of course he did, and Xavier Woods, now King Woods.
King. All hail the king.
And so far, yeah, just showing off that size and strength advantage, suplexing Okuda to the floor.
Dio Madden is absolutely a guy that Vince would just look at and be like, yes!
Yeah.
Give me that. But maybe he's
yet,
using him to help him train against his match against Pat McAfee.
5 minutes gone.
Yeah, it's weird to me that he hasn't gotten the massive push, because he is exactly the kind of wrestler that Vince likes.
Oh, yeah,
or
for sure.
Exactly the kind of look, anyway. Ooh, well, the build that Vince likes. Say what you will about Vince's take on wrestlers of color.
On anywhere. On anything. Vince's take on anything.
Fair. Was that Julia Smokes popping in for a second? 5150 was doing a run.
I can't believe that McMahon feels like, well, you know what this card needs? Me against Pat McAfee.
Yeah. I mean, if that's not a sign of desperation on his part, like, there's been such a backlash against the main event that he's been, drooling over for a decade. Brock versus Roman, both titles on the line, even though it's their 3rd time meeting at Mania now.
Come on.
Nobody's buying. Everybody wanted, when Ronda came back, they wanted Ronda versus Becky, but we're going to get Ronda versus Charlotte instead, because why not?
Yeah.
Just on paper, this is looking like one of the weaker Mania cards in a while.
And it will be. It will be. I'm sorry. Listen.
Yeah.
You will never find a... Well, you might. But I still defend WWE in regards to there is so much potential talent that they
absolutely.
have. That
They've still got one of the greatest rosters ever.
Waste.
Yep.
They just waste it.
Yeah. Like, how do you ruin Big E? How do you ruin Drew McIntyre?
They found a way.
Kofi Kingston, Kevin Owens. Like, just the depth of that roster is so good. and none of them mean anything except for Roman and Brock. So you're left with, oh God, we got to bring Steve Austin out of retirement. Or, oh God, I got to go into a match against Pat McAfee. Oh God, we got to get the guy from Jackass to come in and do a match.
It's crazy. It's just the more and more that comes out about like the inner workings of this company, it really surprises me that there's still that 1 million that just watch every time.
Yep.
I don't
regardless of anything, they're just always going to watch.
Because, I enjoy professional wrestling. WWE does not produce professional wrestling.
No.
I like seeing Brock. I really do. That's about it. I like seeing Roman. But again, that's about it. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are guys who you can put into any role and they can make it fun watching. But like, how much of the same wash, rinse, repeat I don't understand. I don't understand.
It's weird to me that maybe the match I'm most looking forward to at WrestleMania is Sami Zayn against Johnny Knoxville. Just because I'm curious what kind of crazy shit Johnny Knoxville is going to do. Which I know he's going to be limited because, he almost died making Jackass Forever, which is why they're putting him in there with Sammy, who will be careful with him. But he's going to try at least one giant stunt.
Right.
I don't care about Brock and Roman. I mean, they're the only two characters on the roster I care about.
It is a money main event. There's no question.
Yeah.
It's absolutely a money main event. And it will be interesting to see the outcome. Will they continue his dominance, or will Brock Lesnar do as Brock Lesnar's gonna do?
I saw a cool stat this week. It might have been from SAP, actually, that Roman is still defending the title that he defended at last year's Mania. It's the same reign. He's the first champion to defend the title in the same reign at 2 consecutive Manias since Hogan did it from Manias 1, 2, and 3.
Wow.
Well, 2 and 3 because he didn't defend the title at 1.
Yeah.
But it was the same title reign from 1 through 3. But since then, even when Triple H defended it at multiple Manias in a row, he would lose it during the year and then win it back. Roman is still on the same championship reign he was on when he defended the title last year against whoever that was. Was it Drew last year? No. Who was last year? That feels like something I should know.
I don't even remember. Edge.
It was Edge. You're right.
Yeah.
Yep. Good call. Oh, and Bryan. It was a triple threat.
Right.
And Mace wins it with that falling elbow because he can. He's just that big. He can squash you with an elbow. Mace picks up the win, moves on to round 2, and that makes Keisuke Okuda our 171st wrestler to be eliminated from the tournament. And we'll drop that out for a second while I update the bracket.
We appreciate everybody who does watch this show. Again, this is just something we have fun doing. We hope you enjoy it too. We know that the talent that's involved is loving it because, they're picking up wins left and right that they can add to their record.
That's right. We know they enjoy it because they tell us so.
Sorry, that was match number 8. That not match.
That was match 8. We got 2 to go.
Accidentally.
All right.
Yeah. So we are coming up. Speaking of money matches, it's time for Big Money Matt to take on Ray Horace.
I love the background music in Fire Pro.
Always loved the Hardy Boys entrance theme. I really did. I got hyped for that. And by extension, because I want to talk about how like Lita all of a sudden is like she wasn't a great wrestler in the beginning. She got better and better every year. And then Elimination Chamber, she came to work and she did a fantastic match. I was happily surprised with how well she did. And then I was just like, you know what? Give her a Mania match. Why not? At least I know it will be a good worked match.
Yeah, Lita was never my favorite during her peak. I always thought that she was a little sloppy. Definitely preferred Victoria and Jazz and Molly and Trish during that era. But yeah, she put the work in to come back strong for that match at the Chamber. So yeah, I would not be opposed to seeing her. Because it looks like they're going for Becky against Bianca, right? That's going to be the other title match.
Yes.
So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Lita in there against. I don't know. Well, you wouldn't do Alexa because it looks like they're going babyface with Alexa. Even if it was just like a squash against Carmella or something, just have her come out and.
Oh, I see the Matt Hardy multiverse is alive. Here as we have the Woken Matt Hardy.
That's right. Yeah, I do not have a money Matt edit. I just have his Woken. But the multiverse is a thing.
It's one of the 7 deities that has helped him.
That's right.
Speaking of the Hardy Boys, do you want to hear a story I just read about the most uncomfortable pitch that WWE ever gave to him?
Ooh, yes, but also
there's a quote from an interview on SE Scoops. What was pitched to me from Vince and creative was that I was almost going to go to Mark Henry, and him being black had a lot in common with me having matitude because we were both oppressed, and then I would talk like a black person. There was a point where I was almost going to start talking with more black slang and almost tell Mark Henry, like, matitude is oppressed too, man. We have that in common. I was very uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
No kidding, Matt. I'm glad you said no.
Wow.
Jesus. It almost makes me wonder really what it was that Ali was pitched that made him quit or want to quit. He's still there, but he's
still there.
Some say being held hostage. Yeah.
Man, it's crazy that that's still going on. Okay, I don't think that's possible, but cool move. I genuinely don't know what to call that. Like, stepped off of his chest into a moonsault. Yeah, definitely don't think that's possible.
Where have we seen Ray Horus before?
He's probably most famous for his Ring of Honor run. He was there for quite a while as a member of the Mexi squad with Bandito and Flamita, later Demonic Flamita. But lately you've probably seen him on New Japan Strong.
He was also on Lucha Underground as Dragon Azteca Jr., inheriting the magical lantern mantle, I should say, of the Dragon Azteca.
That's right.
Who was kind of like this background Batman type superhero.
Yes.
That was helping, young wrestlers or young people getting attacked, and then there was this hooded individual. You never saw his face; it was always obscured. He decided to train him in lucha libre.
So yeah, I miss Lucha Underground.
Yeah, it's cool how it's kind of come back a little bit with the with Azteca Underground on MLW.
Big splash from Matt there.
But I mean, everybody knows Matt Hardy's extensive career.
Yeah, big money Matt made his PWI 500 debut in 1997. and his peak was 2003, which was the peak of the Mattitude era, when he made it all the way up to I think it was number 17 on the 2003 list. 4-star match against Darby Allin last year.
Would you like to
Still
know
got
some? Would you like to know some Matt facts?
Yes, I
Matt
would.
has beaten the Undertaker 2 straight times.
Very nice.
Mattitude is practiced in 100 countries.
In 7 different languages.
Matt
To more
Hardy's
than a half
bedtime.
million viewers each week. The
Matt Hardy's
World
bedtime
Wrestling
is 4
Federation.
a.m. Matt always got more candy than his brother Jeff in Halloween. Matt has seen all Friday the 13th movies. This is from angelfire.com.
Oh my gosh, that's
Ron's WWE site.
Well,
Matt loves guacamole. He scored 1330 on his SATs. He believes that Thanksgiving is a boring holiday. Matt was the MVP of the 99 No Mercy ladder match. I'm not going to argue that. Matt knows how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Loves eggnog, hates fruitcake.
fair.
Strongly dislikes mustard. Thinks that Shannon Moore has an iota of Mattitude. These were all the lower thirds you would see on the real player style entrance video for Matt Hardy version 1. God, I remember those.
He has held, well, I'm not sure how many different titles, I can count that, but he's had 45 different reigns as various champions across All-Star Wrestling in West Virginia, The Crash, Future Stars of Wrestling, House of Glory, MCW, National Championship Wrestling, New Dimension Wrestling, New England Wrestling Alliance, New Frontier Wrestling Association.
Oh, I'm looking at all of them.
NWA 2000.
In alphabetical order. All Stars.
Yes.
CBS Sports, he's won worst moment of the year.
Yeah, from the match with, or the
Sammy
the moment
Guevara.
with Sammy.
He won the Tag Team Championship in The Crash. He's been in Future Stars of Wrestling, House of Glory, Maryland Championship Wrestling, National Championship Wrestling, New Dimension, New England Wrestling Alliance, New Frontier Wrestling Association, NWA 2000, and of course, his own promotion, Omega, the Organization of Modern Extreme Grappling Arts. I always thought he was going to turn that into like a legit, like, full-fledged promotion for a while.
Yeah.
Or at least some sort of like development for whatever promotion he ended up working for. But in WWE alone, ECW Championship, Hardcore Championship, European Championship, United States Championship, Cruiserweight Championship, 6-time World Tag Team Champion, 1-time SmackDown Tag Team Champion, 3-time Raw Tag Team Champion, 1-time WCW Tag Team Champion, Andre the Giant Memorial Trophy Champion, Bragging Rights Trophy Champion in 2009, of course the ever infamous Terry Invitational Tournament, and the WWE Tag Team Eliminator with the Eater of World, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And he won a hair versus hair match against Billy Blade in Luchas de Apuestas in California.
Yep. The Luchas de Apuestas, a long-running tradition in Mexican wrestling of basically any match where something other than a championship is on the line.
Yeah,
hair versus hair, mask
freestyle
versus
wrestling,
mask.
just to its ultimate capacity.
Yes. And there is actually, I can't remember what they're calling it, but there is basically a Lucha de Apuestas tournament that's going to be starting in, there we go. That's starting at Triple Mania this year. Let me see. Let me pull this up.
Lucha de Espuestas was also a name of an episode of Legends of Tomorrow.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty fun one.
Ruleta de la Muerte is what they're calling the tournament, which is literally death roulette. They have 8 legendary luchadors, masked luchadors, participating in a single elimination tournament, except if you lose, you advance to the next round. To the
So it's
point,
like a Bizarro tournament.
and the two, so basically they're doing Triple Mania across 3 shows this year in April, June, and
Oh, that makes
October.
sense.
At the April show, El Connect versus Psycho Clown, LA Park versus Villano 4, Ultimo Dragon versus Pentagon Jr., and Rayo de Jalisco Jr. against Blue Demon Jr. The 4 winners are out of the tournament. The 4 losers then go on to the show in Tijuana in June, where they face off in basically semifinal matches. The losers of those matches then go to the Mexico City show in October for a mask versus mask match.
Wow.
So if you lose 3 matches in Ruleta de la Muerte, you're going to lose your mask. And these are like El Canic has been around forever. Rayo de Jalisco Jr. has been around forever. Blue Demon has been around forever. Like these are iconic mask masters. Ultimo Dragon, LA Park, Villano 4. Like these people have been masked 20 plus years. And then you've got more modern stars like Psycho Clown and Pentagon.
Oh, there's the twist of fate.
So like Pentagon may lose his mask in October.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I feel like this is going to be a kind of a farewell for one of the legends.
Absolutely.
Showing off, revealing their face before they walk off. Just pure speculation. I'm guessing it's either going to be El Canic or Rayo de Jalisco Jr., but I don't know.
Oh, roll up.
3. Matt
There it
wins
is.
The number 238 seed, Matt Hardy, eliminates Ray Horace. Not a lot of upsets today. Just Bushi and Jasi. Every other match has pretty much gone according to chalk. Of course, I say that as we go into our main event, which will feature our first mini.
Yes. I mean,
Which
by
is,
all, accounts, if we're going by the technical version of it, yes, Swoggle is of the mini division
Yes.
Persuasion. Although he's still bigger than the king of the minis.
Still better than Microman. That is true.
No one's better. No one's better than Microman. Everyone's
no.
bigger than Microman, but no one's better than Microman. No. Don't you besmirch Microman in this house. You come into my house.
In this house, we obey the laws of thermodynamics.
Look at it. Right. It just keeps going. But it is time for the main event. Chris Jericho against Swoggle. A match that no one asked for, but we're giving it to you. Because that's how we do here. Le Champion, the influencer, the demo god, the pain maker.
So I will admit this will be interesting. I have not tested.
Man of 1,000 gimmicks, really, more so than holds.
I just. Oh, hey, Jamin. I've got a weird pop up on my Streamlabs here, or StreamYard, where I can't actually see all of the comments. So that's fun. But what I was going to say is I have not tested out this Swoggle edit yet. I just downloaded him a couple nights ago.
Well, let's see.
So the stats were right in the bio that he's 4'5" and 142 pounds. But we'll see if he's actually proportioned that much smaller than Jericho. Yeah, we'll see. Already not a great likeness, but
Something
We'll
is
see. Oh, and that is
off.
also not the right referee.
Something is off about Swoggle. I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
This is going to be
Here comes
so
Jericho,
weird.
who thinks you are beautiful on the inside. Your
We
innocence
can't,
personified.
we can't sing along.
Oh, we're not singing. And he will drag you down and sell you out.
Something said
Run away.
Swoggle looks like he got in good shape.
Yeah, and is wearing lifts.
Yeah, maybe some stilts. Honestly, this reminds me of the South Park episode where Stan gets like the height surgery.
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh God, it's just so he can be on the basketball team. I think he gets like bull testicles implanted in his knees. Like it's just disgusting.
All right.
It's South Park. What are you gonna do?
Right, yeah. Well, yeah, there's definitely something a little off about this. You know what? I think I figured out what's wrong with that referee. Oh well,
It's no problem.
doesn't matter.
Swoggle's got some kick and speed to them though.
Yeah.
Probably the best shape I've ever seen them in.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, Swoggle, a 17-year pro, authored his autobiography "Life Is Short and So Am I."
Well done.
He was BLP tag champion with Ethan Page and favorite of the show Danhausen.
Ego Ethan Page. All ego Ethan
All
Page.
ego Ethan Page.
The man with the tightest tits in a game.
He won the Terry Invitational tournament. I
Terry
saw
is
what
a
you
very
did there,
nice
Vince
individual.
Russo. Side superplex from Jericho. It's a good thing this is a weirdly proportioned Hornswoggle. Otherwise, that would be
This is
borderline
oddly weird. Just maybe he pulled him like and gave him like that stretcher from the Princess Bride.
Maybe.
He's mostly dead.
We've just sucked 17 years of your career away. How do you feel?
I think I heard a low blow bell, but I don't know. That could have been my ears are ringing. Keeps going for that elbow. Not quite the Judas effect.
If it helps, just think about Jericho. He's fighting this entire match on his knees. That's why they're set up like that. And the crossface.
5 minutes gone.
The referee, who I think is a default referee in the game called Mr. Judgment. I meant to click on Red Shoes, but I apparently overshot it when I was scrolling through the referee options. Hornswoggle with the elbow drop. Step up Enziguri. Seems unnecessary. And then a drop kick to the back of the head. Oh, is he going for the tadpole splash? Nope, just an elbow drop. And a stomp. And an attitude
I think
adjustment.
he's been doing DDP wide. That's what I think it is.
That's probably exactly what it is.
That changes everyone's body.
Yep.
2,
Tope
Oh!
Suicida from that wasn't quite. It was a
Tope con Hilo, I believe. Dragon Screw. I know that one.
and now he's got a chair.
You know what I liked about recently with Brian
Ushigoroshi.
Danielson
No, that was
Daniel Garcia
attitude.
was the use of the Dragon Screw and Brian Danielson just being like, nope, not this time. And like catching him and then just stopping to go, "Bah, bah, bah."
I am really that whole storyline is really intriguing to me. The Danielson mocks.
You've seen the picture of like, I want us to get married, John, and raise 3 beautiful sons.
Yeah. Because that's, I mean, I feel like one way or the other, that attitude adjustment from Swoggle, got to see him pull that off in a Rumble against, was that Tyson Kidd that he did that to?
I think so.
Many
By the
years
way,
ago.
shout out to Tyson Kidd. Hope you're feeling good. Hope things get better for you. We understand. You know, you've had a lot of bad breaks with not being able to get back into full form like you've wanted to, but you know, health comes first, and we're all vying for you.
Yeah.
Oh, was that a dragon screw?
That was a dragon screw from Swoggle.
From Swoggle, excuse me. Can't use the copyright name.
Tiger bomb from Jericho. Jericho really going with the high flying in this match. We don't see that much out of him
throwing
anymore.
out some of the old cruiserweight division moves.
Kind of wish he would have come out to his old WCW theme, not the one that was a knockoff of Even Flow, but his baby face.
And why wasn't that given to Raven?
Raven?
Like, come on! It's
a
right
no-brainer.
there. He looks like Eddie Vedder.
I don't even remember what Raven's was a knockoff of, because they were all knockoffs of
yeah.
grunge songs at the time. I remember Saturn used "Come As You Are," but I don't remember what Raven had.
DDP was basically
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Jericho had Even Flow. Huh. I have to look that up. I'm not really sure what that was. Just sort of ran into him in midair. Some stomps from Jericho. And another attitude adjustment from Swoggle.
Yeah, Raven's theme was the "Come As You Are" ripoff too, because
Oh, was it? That was just like the Flock song.
that was the Flock, yeah.
Gotcha. Which, I mean, that's a good song for Raven too, but not as
Yeah, but I mean, Even Flow DDT was the name of his.
yeah.
Yeah, what do you get?
Tadpole splash.
Tadpole splash.
And an elbow drop.
Just jumping
And
off the
another.
lily pad like it's nothing. And apparently it isn't anything for Jericho. Insugiri.
Super kick.
Super kick.
Swoggle.
This is good. Could this be the upset of the tournament
I think it would have to be.
if Swoggle defeats La Champion?
Trying to think if there's been what the biggest upset up to this point is. I guess
Don't Die Miles versus Pac was certainly
that was a big one. Antonio Honda beating Ultimo Guerrero was the biggest one.
Yeah.
This would technically not be as big an upset because Jericho is 2 spots behind Guerrero, and so Swoggle is 2 spots ahead of Honda. But I think this would have to be the biggest upset.
I don't know what he's going for with those victory rolls, but better get back in the ring.
They may just be trying to waste time to get him counted out.
Oh no!
I was
Oh,
gonna say that would be a very heel Jericho
just
move to have a match
barely
against
making
Swoggle.
it
Tadpole splash.
too close to the
It's on
ropes.
the
I
Not
think
great
the fact that
ring
Charles
awareness.
Robinson is in the ring has any influence over this.
Oh man, I wish I'd been counting the attitude adjustments. Excuse me.
Back elbow, but not the Judas effect.
No, there was no spin involved. Kick from Swoggle.
Whoa!
Yep, that's
Shades
totally
of
a
Bryan
thing Swoggle
Danielson.
can do. So
I'm
if
just-
Swoggle wins, I'm gonna
This
have to
is-
find a
this
new
is
edit
great.
of Swoggle. I'm already
have to
looking for a
find a
new
new
Jordan
career.
Grace.
You know how there's like those signs if Jericho, if someone so doesn't win, we riot.
Yes.
Wondering if any of those are in here for the crowd tonight with Swoggle.
Big running clothesline in the corner from Jericho.
I didn't know that backflip over the top turnbuckle was available in this.
Nor did I.
Oh, surprise roll up. No, too close to the ropes.
Just rolling him into the ropes over and over. Another attitude adjustment.
Jericho's attitude has been adjusted so many times that he may no longer interview conservatives on his podcast.
Yeah. He may finally ask his wife about where she was on January 6th.
That's. I'm not gonna.
I am just controlling the narrative here, man.
Oh God. That's two. That's two.
That's two. Yeah,
Went
that
too
was
far.
That was too many.
Too many.
Dragon screw again from Swoggle.
Is that more like a dragonfly screw?
I like that dragonfly.
There's the code breaker. Jericho, by the way, does not have ab implants. There it is.
No. All right. Jericho survives a war with Swoggle in our main event. The reason this was our main event, as I didn't even make a note of it. This was not the first meeting between those two. They have been in the same Royal Rumble before. That was the only match on our show today where the participants had been in the ring together before.
Well, there you have it,
yeah.
folks. 10 matches, all moving on, all competitors moving on to our next round. And speaking of which, what is in the future for our winners?
Yeah, let's take a look. So we now know that, let me pull this up. Let's see. Jake Lee will face Mace in the second round. Bushi will be against Jordan Grace. Jay Lethal against Dominic Mysterio. Jossie still awaits his opponent because I don't have a Jordan Blade edit yet, so we haven't been able to do the Penta Oscuro versus Jordan Blade match yet. Let's see. Actually, those. Oh, and Matt Hardy against Chris Jericho in the second round. So those are the matches that we now know will happen in the second round. And next week,
yeah, I was just gonna say, what do we got lined up for next week?
First round action continues as I put it over on the whiteboard here, so it's easier for me to find. Sami Callihan will take on Dark Sheik. Keno against Anthony Green, a retro AG. Brian Keith against PB Smooth. The aforementioned All Ego Ethan Page against Mickey Knuckles. Filthy Tom Lawler against Tioman.
Nice.
From NXT UK.
Very nice.
O'Shea Edwards against Shoddy Lee Johnson. An all AEW match as Santana takes on Dante Martin. That's going to be fun.
I love it.
El Desperado against Jessica Troy. Katsuhiko Nakajima against Odinson from NWA. And Dak Draper against Chad, Reddy, Willing, and Gable.
Very, very cool. Chad Gable been killing it with Alpha Academy, by the way. Incredibly entertaining guy. Wish he was in a better promotion.
Yeah.
But thank you, everybody, for watching us this week. Of course, all our matches will be available on our YouTube channel later on throughout the week. We will be back next week still, I believe, for our show where we're recapping. Well, no. We are going to probably give predictions on Revolution because it's happening that night.
It'll be that night, yeah.
We are not going to be watching it live. We know that we usually try to do some watch-alongs. Life has come into play, so we're all going to be in our respective, homes and whatever. But we will be watching, and then following week, of course, we're going to give our recap and everything that goes on, and continue the tournament as well. But it's a big show that's coming up. There's a lot of great wrestling that's out there. Support your local wrestlers, whether it's on Pro Wrestling Tees or IndependentWrestling.tv. There are so many different. There's wrestling everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just discovered that DDT Pro has a streaming service.
Yeah.
So check them out so you can find out all the ridiculous matches that we have talked about with the Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Championship. Might as well be called the Super Heavy Metalweight Championship.
Might as well, yeah.
I think that we are solid contenders for being a host to a sanctioned match for that.
I agree.
Belt. And if you think if you can help us out, please do so by tweeting to them and tagging us at PW Simulated, letting them know that we want to have an official championship match hosted here on our stream, because you never know. The game
Never know.
itself could become the champion.
That's true. That's true. My PlayStation 4 could become the Iron Man Heavy Metalweight
Or
champion.
one of the members of the roster that we have already could in fact become a champion. There are
Could be.
so many possibilities.
They are almost literally endless.
Yeah. So we hope you all have a great week. Pat, what have you got coming up in terms of outside of the world of wrestling?
Well, we should be theoretically getting back in the studio for more Kings of Consoles. Hopefully this week. For an episode next week, it'll be our first one in a couple months. Just life stuff and COVID stuff and holiday stuff kind of got in the way for a couple months. But we are back. The next episode, whenever it airs, will be Super Mario Brothers 2 against River City Ransom. So that will be that'll be a fun discussion.
Mario Brothers 2 is the one that was like, it was taken
Doki Doki
from
Panic.
another game.
Yep.
And then they just modded it to
Yep.
be a Super Mario game.
Yeah.
Right?
So there was a different Super Mario Brothers 2 in Japan, what we now know as the Lost Levels.
Right,
when it was
on
released
that
on Super
All-Star
Nintendo.
cartridge.
It's basically the exact same game as the first one, just slightly harder levels, new enemies, stuff like that.
The egg spitters.
Yes. But Mario 2, the US and Europe version, is a reskinned version of a game called Doki Doki Panic.
Right.
Which was a promotional game made for a convention in Japan, featuring their mascots that were then reskinned to be Mario characters. But that's also why there's no Bowser, there's no Goombas, there's no
Right.
Koopa Troopas. It's all Shy
Isn't
Guys.
didn't they set it up that it's a dream?
It's a
Mario's
dream.
dream.
Yeah. So Mario has a dream of a place called Subcon. And then he wakes up, tells Luigi and Princess Toadstool, not yet Peach, and Toad about his dream. They had all had the same dream, and then they find Subcon.
Yeah.
And they have to help the people of Subcon overthrow Wart, who is the final boss of that.
I mean,
game.
it's a clever way of reskinning a game.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, I still love that Super Mario Brothers 3 is a stage show.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
I really always like that.
Game literally opens with curtains parting.
Yeah. Pieces
Yeah.
of scenery are held up by
Yeah.
rope, and
Yep, held up by rope. Or
every
some of
time
them are,
you
like,
end the
bolted to
level, you
background.
go backstage.
Yep. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'll definitely be checking that out. I have a new episode of the Wayfinders Guild premiering tomorrow at 7.
Very
We had our
excited for
first combat episode last week. I tried to do things a little bit differently back than the traditional shows. We're just, we're trying to present new things. It's more of a low-key episode tomorrow night, which you can check out on twitch.tv/the Wayfinders Guild, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Myself, some of the cast will be alongside in the chat to watch along with you. It's only an hour-long show. Hope you enjoy it, and there's going to be more to come. On Wednesdays, I'm going to be starting a live stream called DM the DM, where if you have questions or want to just chat about the show or Dungeons & Dragons in general or any TTRPG, I am going to be doing that and probably maybe playing some games to talk while I'm playing, or might have some players from the show, might have some other people from the TTRPG community I'm trying to get. So be on the lookout for that. And of course, next week, our tournament continues with more wrestling in our Pro Wrestling Simulated Epicenter. I love that name. I don't know why. Why? If you have information about where we can find other wrestlers, contact Pat with Pro Wrestling Simulated at gmail.com. You can tag us at PW Simulated on all the social media. And we will be back again next week. Same simulated time, same simulated channel. I, of course, have been Mike.
I'm still Simulated Pat.
And we will see you next time in our virtual ring. See you next week, everybody.